Well, hello and welcome back. Again, this is Devin Murray with Attract More Families with another one of my master classes. Today is actually not Monday. I'm actually shooting this on a Tuesday. But because I'm going to be showing some actual screenshots and stuff, I wanted to kind of do this before everyone came on the call. So bear with me here as we kind of work our way through. Today we're going to be talking about pay-per-click advertising for private school enrollments to show you how to use specifically Google AdWords, but the pay-per-click world out there is pretty much all the same, to use it to go ahead and grow your enrollments. So first, real quick, as always, a little bit of background so we all know what we're talking about and where we stand. What is pay-per-click advertising? It's also called PPC. You'll regularly hear it called that. So if you ever hear me talk about PPC, pay-per-click, generally talking about AdWords, but it can be also a bunch of other ones. And basically, it's the idea that you pay each time someone clicks on an ad of yours. You don't pay until someone clicks on an ad, but when they do, you pay for it. Google is the 800-pound gorilla in this. This is actually how Google makes billions of dollars every year, is with its AdWords pay-per-click program. But there are lots of other ones out there. There's Yahoo, there's Bing, there's some other ones like ClickBooth and Site Scout that you can use to kind of hit some other targets. Every so often, I will use some of these smaller, different ones, especially if I'm targeting a specific website that maybe they have the ads for. Also, sometimes some of these other ones are more available for mobile devices and mobile ads or in-app ads, like you see when you're playing a game like Words with Friends or Candy Crush. You'll see those ads. Some of the smaller market ones are the ones that actually sell those ads. So how does PPC and Google AdWords specifically work? It's really pretty simple. So first, you bid on keywords that you want your ads to show up for. And these are the keywords that you think people will be typing in to find your services, i.e. private school. So when someone's looking for a pain to be solved, what do you think they're going to be typing in to the search engines? Private school is obviously one of them. And then what Google does is Google goes in and picks the winning bid based on many criteria, not just the price. And then Google then picks the second, third, fourth, and so on, all the way up to 10, because there's 10 on that first page. So Google, it's not just who's paying the highest bid. There's actually a lot of things that go into who Google picks. The bid being one. The second one being how often your ad gets clicked. That's actually what has made Google so big, is when they added that part of the equation. It also has to do with how often people stay on your page, which the quality score, and a bunch of other different factors go into how well you rank for that. But you get picked and you're number 1 through 10. Then Google displays the ads for the people. And once they've done that, then the next thing they do is when someone clicks on your ad because they find it interesting, you get charged whatever you were willing to bid for that. You only pay when someone clicks on your ad, hence the pay-per-click advertising term. So you do not pay anything until someone actually clicks on your ad. And once someone clicks on your ad, they are directed to any web page you desire. This could be your website, your main website. This could be a special website that we use that are called landing sites. A lot of times I use a company called leadpages.net that I can build a special page just to send traffic to, or anything else for that matter. In fact, I could even send someone to a Facebook page if I wanted to, or to Amazon. I can send them to any place that I want to. And then you can set up Google to record who takes the actions you want them to after they've clicked on your ad, like filling out a form to request a tour. So once they come to your site, we can then track through Google Analytics and some other integrations into AdWords what actions they take. It's great. So I can know that the person who clicked on this ad went all the way through and signed up for a tour, or they went halfway through, or they went to my blog in the end. We can track all of that and find out what's working and what's not. Give you a real quick idea of why I love Google AdWords for marketing. I have unbelievable speed, unbelievable power of testing. I have a tremendous reach, and I can track my ROI like no other marketing out there. So real quick, first let's talk about speed. AdWords offers just amazing speed in marketing. I can set up an ad and I can be marketing almost instantly. Whereas if you look at traditional marketing, if you want to run an ad in the newspaper or in a flyer, it could take weeks before your ad shows up. If you imagine, if you just missed the cutoff for this week's newspaper, it's going to be a week until you can submit, and then it's generally 3-4 days before it shows. That can be a week and a half before I can start advertising that I need new students, or I can also use this to get employees. Again, people that any need you want, I can advertise in front of. So it gives me speed because I can turn on AdWords within minutes of seeing a need. So if I have a family that moves out of town and is leaving me, I know that I can start running an ad almost immediately, at least in the hopes of filling their spot. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. And once I have a campaign set up and going, I can flip it from pause to active as I need it. So if I feel that I want to run and get some more people, some new students, some new staff, I can. When I don't, I can shut it off. I can also turn it on when we start into our enrollment season, and then I can shut it off very quickly at the end. And the ads really start showing within minutes, because as soon as you click on, the next time someone searches for a keyword that you are bidding on, you are in the ad. You are in the running for that ad. I love AdWords for testing. This is probably my biggest reason, and this is also why I strongly suggest that people run AdWords ads, even if they're full, and even if they are in a non-enrollment period, because it gives you so much knowledge with the testing that you can do. Because it gives you an unbelievably to test for little or no money at all. I will even use this to figure out the name of a program or summer camp that I want to offer. I can, for $10, come up with what the ad should be. And Google will tell you what ad people are clicking on. So if you're running multiple ads, you can see what wording is catching people's attention. You can see what search terms they typed in to trigger your ad. And a lot of times I use this to see trends that are happening. What is a trend that's happening? Where people are changing the pain that they're feeling that's causing them to want to search for a private school. Or maybe a new term has come up, a new buzzword has come up within the community talking about what a private school is. I can see all of those trends ahead of time. I can also quite often see a new competitor who steps in because people will be searching for their name, and I can see that that's triggering my ad. So I can see what's happening and what people are typing in so that I can take corrective actions. And you can also split test different offers to find the one that your prospects want. You can find out what offer attracts to your. A prime example of this, I know it would not make sense at all, but especially with summer camps and some of these other ones, there's a difference between 1 month free and 4 weeks free. Although they're really the same length of time, actually 4 weeks free works better because it's 4 versus a 1. And subconsciously, people think 4 is more than 1, even though actually the 1 month is actually longer by a couple days. So it's great to be able to see and test those offers and find out what works. Google AdWords allows me to do testing because I can learn from the AdWords that I'm running what works. What is the offer that people want? And then I can take those and put those in flyers and postcards and mail and other ads that can cost me hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to create and get out to people. I can be sure that the ones I'm sending out are the winners, not the losers or ones that I'm just assuming work. I'm sending out the ones that I know are the best and proven because I tested them during the off season. So now that I need to actually get into that enrollment season, I know the winners. And I can use those winning offers and words and needs that my competitors have never even seen. I also am able to target and test different geographical areas to see who to send direct mail pieces to. This is great because direct mail is not cheap, but it is unbelievably powerful, so effective right now because people do not get much in the mail anymore. So when something good does show up in the mail, people read it and pay attention. But it can be expensive. And by using AdWords to test different geographic areas, I can test what neighborhoods are actually interested in me, or what towns, or how far from my school I still get interest. And that allows me then to come in and say, okay, I know that the Northwest neighborhoods are the ones that really, when they see my ad, they click over. They're the ones that take action. They read the blog. They schedule a tour. Those are the ones that I know when they do that, maybe I should send all of my direct mail to them, or I should do the heaviest, most expensive direct mail to them because there's something about that area that is causing them to be interested in me. And a lot of times I will find areas that I didn't know were interested in me when I walk into a new area or a new school. It's really fun to be able to do that. And this is also a great way to test new programs or offers. Not as much for the normal school programs, but I do find, especially with summer schools and summer camps, this is a great way to test if someone would be interested in it. Also, like after school activities, would there be interest there, or intramural kind of sports? I also find it's really powerful if we're looking to focus possibly on a new area of educational focus. So if I want to get into STEM or into an art-based learning environment, which is really fun to be a part of, I can test and see, is there going to be interest there by running ads that are looking for those kind of people? Is there enough critical mass for me to hire the staff, to open the room up, to make the shift? Sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. Is there enough interest for me to consider running a bus to that neighborhood is something else that I can always look at by looking at how much AdWords traffic I get. So for $100, I can tell if it's worth any of my effort or if it's just something that people are really probably not interested in right now. And therefore I should let it sit for another year or two. Great way. It also provides great when you're going to a board and they want to see hard numbers versus just I think this will work, or I hope this will work. Having run a test for $100 and be able to show them here's the results we got. That is just very powerful and an effective way to win them over to what you want. All right, so the third thing that I really love about Google AdWords is the reach that it gives me. So I can select a target area. Again, as I talked before, I can reach different neighborhoods. I can reach cities that I might not otherwise be able to. I can also reach circumferences. I find this is really powerful when you are right on a borderline between zip codes. One of the things that Google Plus uses in its map algorithm is it looks at what zip code you are in and what zip code someone else is in as a search criteria. So you can be just on the other side of a road from the zip code that someone is searching in and come up a lot lower because Google says you're in another town. By running AdWords, I can make sure that I'm reaching out across that street, that zip code that Google Plus has put in place. This is really powerful, especially when I see that my building is in a less affluent side of the street versus, and then a half mile away is a very affluent neighborhood. And I have trouble reaching them because of Google Plus, because of the way their algorithm, their locality algorithm works. I can use AdWords to reach over that line and force myself to be found and be seen by them. I can also target keywords that will take way too long for search engine optimization to work. So things like summer camp or a new competitor or a new area of educational focus that maybe a competitor has stepped into and I didn't see it coming. I can use AdWords to make sure that even though I'm not the top organic search, that I'm still showing up actually even above them in search and compete with them again in seconds versus days, weeks, or months that it takes search engine optimization to work and take effect. And kind of as a sneaky little trick, I can actually target my competitors with AdWords. I obviously cannot put a competitor's name on my website, so I can't do it with organic, but I can target those local schools who are competing against me, the charter schools or a private school that's maybe taking some of my families. I can target their name with an ad that says, are you looking for an alternative to the ACE Academy? Or are you looking for a more religious path than the Horizons Charter School? I'm able to do that, which is great too. So it gives me that reach that I can reach out and actually target my competitors legally without any time and without having their name on my websites. And the final thing I absolutely love about AdWords is the fact that I can track my ROI, which is your return on investment. For each dollar you spend on AdWords marketing, you can see exactly how many dollars you get back. So you should know what your lifetime customer value is for each student that enrolls with you, or what your year customer value is for every student that enrolls. And you can look and track back all the way from the time someone clicked on your ad. So you can see that you paid $1.50 for an ad. And that ad, you had to run 10 ads before you got someone to take a tour, and then you had to do 5 of those in order to get an enrollment. So you know it's costing you about $50 to $70 in AdWords for every enrollment. But each enrollment makes you $30,000 over a lifetime is a very low number. That's great because I can track and see, okay, this ad's costing me $50 per enrollment. This ad's costing me $20 per enrollment. I love to be able to see that so I can see which one is working. What is my return on investment? For the money that I'm putting into marketing, how much money am I getting back in the end? It's really hard to do that with almost any other kind of marketing. I know we can use tracking phone numbers in newspapers and direct mail. We can use tracking phone numbers or different color paper. There's ways to track, but it's never as precise because people always forget where they heard about you from, or they forget what color the paper was, or they give you the wrong code because they've seen 3 different codes. It can always be a problem, but with Google AdWords and PPC, I can track precisely. And this also allows me to optimize my other marketing from what I learn on AdWords. So when I learn what offer works and I take that out to other media like flyers and newspaper ads, that tracking that ROI and knowing which one presents me with the greatest money for every offer, it is tremendously powerful. All right, so with that, it's time to take a little swim break. Actually, we're going to take a break and go straight into... So let's just actually go straight to the website, and we'll take a look at that now. All right, so I have logged into my Google account, and you can see up here we have Google. It's AdWords at google.com. And this is kind of the main dashboard, so now I want to start a new campaign from scratch. I'm going to take you through each step. First thing you want to do is come here and hit the new campaigns. And we have a bunch of options here. We can do search network with display, search network only, display network, shopping, video, or the apps, which is mobile apps. So real quick, kind of the way they work. So search network is only Google and its partners. So that's Google, AOL, people that are actually in there typing into Google, looking, best private school in Denver, Colorado. That's the search network right here. Display network is Google has a flip side of Google AdWords, which is called their AdSense program, which is you can display Google ads on your website. And then that website earns 70 to 80% of what that ad paid. So if it's $1 per click. That website could earn 70 to 80 cents for every time someone clicks on an ad. That's the display network. So you can run your ad on the display network. This can be very helpful because it means that you can show up on sites like CNN. You can also show up on, let's see, CNN's one of the big ones, but any of those sites that have those, Yahoo, I can sometimes even show up on Yahoo's site. I can show up in your mail, in your Google Mail account. That's the display network. So I have the option of either or both. Shopping is the shopping section, which we really don't work. Video, I'm not going to get into that, but that's having your ad show up on a YouTube video. It means you also have to be shooting a video. So I don't want to get into that right now, and then the apps. I generally almost always suggest you start off with just the search network. Test into the search network, get your ads working well, and then you can go out to the display network. The problem is the display network, because people aren't looking for a solution when they're there, you tend to get much lower results. And I'm always worried about that when I'm testing. Once I know what's winning, then I'm all for running it in the display network and paying a lot less, because I'll actually pay less for an ad I run in the display network versus the search network. So we just want to click on that. And you will find that Google is really unbelievably simple about how it sets this up. It makes it unbelievably easy. All right, so we're just going to start with the top. First, we have to do the campaign name. So we're going to call this Ace Academy, and we are going to, if I spell things correctly, it works even better yet. And we're going to go Denver Best. We're doing search network only. And by the way, I can come back in and change these things at any time. Standard features, which is text ad showing in Google results. It gives me some options here. Generally, I just stay with the standards. So the network, we're doing Google and include the search partners. If I want to, I can uninclude them by just clicking on that. That's sites like AOL. Google actually provides the search results for a lot of the sub search engines like AOL. Now I can pick where I want to show this. Obviously, location. I only want to show in the United States, but actually, I don't even want to show in there. I just want to pick a region. So this is where I can start picking a much smaller area. So I just want to be in Denver, Colorado. What I can do is now I can keep adding locations. So let's do Denver. I actually grew up in the little town of Parker, Colorado, which is a suburb of Denver. So I can choose those, and I can just keep adding locations, if that makes sense. And this is how you can narrow it down. And with advanced search, I can even go so far as to start drawing diameters or jagged lines around everything. I can choose my language. I generally stick with English, but if you have a predominantly Spanish-speaking community and you do offer classes in Spanish, you might want to go ahead and add that to the list. Again, I generally stick with that. Manual PPC bidding. I like that. There are some other options, but I find these get dangerous, and you can spend a tremendous amount of money very quickly if you do them wrong. So to start off with, let's just stay with the manual PPC and my default bid. How much do you think you need to bid for each time someone clicks on the word? Now, this is the default. I can change it down the road for each individual keyword or each individual ad. So right now, I'm going to say I'm willing to spend $2, and I'm willing to put, let's say, $10 a day into that. Now, I can do some other things here. I can add extensions. I can add my location information, which says that I can add my address. All right. Now, this account is a test account that I'm running right now for my book that I'm releasing. So you'll find that a lot of things are not allowed. So the location says that I can add a address, a A site link allows me to add internal, deeper links to my ad than anything else. I don't find that is useful for us. That's more useful for like an Amazon kind of place that can add other stuff. I can have a call where I can actually have a special phone number that the ad just shows up and says, call us. I can do call outs, or I can do a structured snippet, which kind of makes it stick out a little bit more. The additional descriptive text allows me to put like a little button that says learn more now. Great way, but again, these can cost a little bit more money. So for right now, in testing, I just like to keep it very simple. I will a lot of the times, however, do the call and the location. And this I'd have to get a new phone number right down here if I want it. And it's a special tracking phone number so that when someone picks up the phone and calls, Google is actually able to track that. So they track it, again, just like it was someone clicking on your ad, and I can do through some processes, I can track them all the way through enrollment and know that the person who called from that ad enrolled with me. So I can, again, track my ROI. Let's just go ahead and click on that. All right. Now that the overarching campaign is set up, now I get to do ads with ad groups within that. An ad group is something that's targeting an individual word. So or an individual set of words. So we're going to do best private school Denver. This is, all right. You would think it was time to be done for the day. All right, so that's it. I'm willing to bid 2, and now I get to enter my keywords. So I'm going to enter, now remember, I was only targeting Denver, Colorado already geographically. So what I can do is I can now enter here, private school. Let's do private schools, best. And when we go back into the PowerPoint presentation, I will talk to you about what are some ideas for keywords and how these keywords relate to the ad that we're going to write in the end. All right, now I can come up here if I want to get some ideas. I can check out private schools. All right, so let's see what it says if I type in private schools, search. All right, so I got private elementary and 9 other words. So if I wanted to do a private elementary, and let's just work with that. Let's see what keywords they think I should use. And this tells me my monthly searches. So private elementary school near me gets about 10 searches a month. Private elementary schools is getting 20. Elementary private schools near me, 10. Elementary private schools, private school, elementary. But this gives me an idea of all the different keywords that I can be competing on. This is great. And what I can do is I can just add all those to the campaign. Boom. How about that? And this is how I can keep growing my AdWords and figure out what words to compete against. So now let's go on to continue to the ads. All right. So here's the ad. We will come back to everything that we need to enter there. And that is really everything there is to creating your first ad. In 10 minutes, we have been able to create our first ad. And that is even with me explaining it to you. Now let's go in and talk about what each one of these lines is about. So let's talk about what should be in your ad. Now the headline, which is the first line there, which is the first line in an ad, needs to grab the attention of the searcher. And it should have the keywords that someone was searching for. So if someone is searching for private elementary school, I want my headline to read private elementary school. If someone is searching for private elementary, I'd like to shorten that down. If someone's searching for a private first grade school or first grade private school, I want to make sure that that is in my keywords. And this is where we break things down into those ad groups. So I might have an ad group for elementary, best private elementary school Denver. I might then have another ad group for best first grade private school in Denver. That just so that I can write the headline that matches what people are searching for. And this goes back into, if you remember the very beginning of my conversation with y'all today, I talked about how people clicking on your ad actually affects how much you pay. And the more the people click on your ad, the less you have to pay for each ad and still be in the number one spot. By having the keywords, what people are searching for, by having the keywords that people are searching for in your headline, it tremendously causes your ads to get clicked on and get people to come to your site, and then you can start helping teach them to enroll. Now, the description is 2 lines long, and so the first line of the description is about telling them the benefit of clicking on your ad. You want to tell them why they should click on your ad. You know, best private elementary Denver. Right? Discover how private elementary helps children grow. Right? Great words: discover, secret, learn more. Very powerful, but that's the benefit of clicking on the ad, is they will discover the secrets to private elementary school. And don't make them guess as to what your benefit is going to be. Simply tell them, discover why private elementary schools are best option for your child. Line number 2 is line number 2 of the description, you want to finish what you started in line 1. Sometimes you don't have quite enough space or letters, characters, so sometimes I will have to wrap around and finish second line with a word or two to finish up a sentence or make a thought work from the first line. But then I want to put a call to action. Yeah, click to learn more, call now, schedule a tour, schedule an appointment. Download the free download the checklist. Yeah. Download the secret, download the checklist is a great one that I love. And then tell them what to do next, which is a part of the call to action. Click now. This call now. Download the report. Download the checklist. Tell them what to do. That's the second part of that line. Yeah, call now, click to learn, access the free report. And then you have the display URL. Now, this is kind of different because it doesn't need to be the exact URL you are sending people to. So I could be sending people to bestprivateschooldenver.com/free report /15 2 because I've run a lot of different tests on that free report. It doesn't need to be the exact one, but it does have to be the proper URL. So I can't say that I'm sending someone to Amazon.com and send them to murraysprivateschool.com. Can't do that. It has to be at least the same base URL. Same domain, but I can integrate my call to action. So I can do things like murrayaceacademy.com free private school checklist. I can have that be my URL, or download the private school checklist as a URL. So it gives me a little bit of extra space. Put that call to action there, that subliminal request for what I want people to do. All right, so what should you be testing and improving? Because you should always be testing. You want to be getting better at this to learn what happens. So that's how you set the ads up. I showed you all that. That was pretty simple. Now we showed you what's in that ad, but now we want to get better. So no matter how much you think you know what your prospect wants, you have to test. Because guess what? They will prove you wrong every single time they can. Anytime that you tell me that you are 100% sure that this is what's going to work best, I'll guarantee you it will fail. It will. I come up with something better, and I think it's just the way the universe wants it to be. It wants our prospects to drive us insane. So I always want to be testing something, even if I'm positive. I want to be testing against it. It's called beat the control. We're always trying to just beat the control, get better than we were, and should always be testing something. Every time I'm running ads, every time I'm doing anything in life, I'm always trying to test at least one thing to see if I can get better. So with the headline, you want to change up your headline to see if you can come up with something that's a little bit more attention getting. Right? So your base headline works great, but let's see if we can beat a little bit more. And now it's great about AdWords, and I didn't show you here because it's a little bit more advanced, but when I test, I can actually send percentages of my traffic. So I can tell Google, here's a test, and I want you to send 10% of your traffic to this test and send 90% to my proven ad. And let's see after 3 weeks which one's winning. So this is a great way you can test that ad. The benefits of changing to see what resonates with people. This is one of the really powerful ones that I work a lot. Because although I might think the benefit is that they want a religious education or they're worried about the safety of the schools, I don't really know that until I've actually run the test and seen if there's a benefit that people are looking for more than I know. And when I do that and when I learn that, that's how I win against all my competition, because they're going to still be going after the old benefits that no one's all that interested in. I also like to test my destination URL, send people to different pages and see which one works. Do they want a report or do they want a checklist? Do they want an article? Do they just want to schedule a tour and come in and see what's happening? It's really great. That's why I love testing to see where different places I can send people that's going to get the best results. And I'm just going to tell you this, start running ads today, because the sooner you start running ads, the sooner you will learn what is winning, so you can be ready with some secret tricks and secret knowledge that nobody else has when that next enrollment season comes around. By running ads now and figuring out what is that pain point that everyone's wanting to solve, that all your competitors have wrong and that you had wrong until you ran the ad. And now when enrollment season comes up, you can all of a sudden kind of sneak that out there and have all your competitors wonder why you have everyone enrolling with you and they don't. It's so much fun. All right, so anyways, would you like some help? Would you like to have me help you get your AdWords up and running and give you my expert advice on getting more enrollments? This is what I do. This is what I specialize in. This is what I love. I do this stuff all day long for schools all over the country. This is what I love to do, and I'm willing to work with some. So if you would like to have me help you, the first step is to set up a Get Acquainted call to see if I can help. Because quite frankly, I can't help everybody. I'm very selective with who I work with, and I only like to work with those people that I know that I can help their school grow, which means that I have to know that we can actually implement some of the stuff that I need to. So if you would like to be one of the people that I work with, please just go to attractmorefamilies.com. Right in there, there's a real simple form to set up a consultation or the Get Acquainted call. And you can pick the time that works best for you, and then we'll get on the phone or on a GoToMeeting or Skype call so that we can actually look at things live with each other. And we'll set up and see if we can work together and what I can do to help you. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you understand the power of Google AdWords and pay-per-click advertising. I wish you the tremendous best. And again, get out there and start running some ads tomorrow. 10 minutes and you're up and running. Take care and God bless.